From terrifying creatures that secretly stalk people
Look at the size of that thing! Dude, that's not a bear!
to mysterious beasts attacking them. Tag along to witness the most disturbing encounters with otherworldly critters that shocked everyone.
So I'm in this really crappy zoo in Romania. They got this really weird creature caged up. It looks like some sort of deformed human.
A man was casually filming his visit to a Romanian zoo when his camera captured something unexpected. As he walked past a restricted area, he noticed a cage that didn't look like the others. Inside, gripping the metal bars, was a strange humanoid figure. It wasn't an animal, but it wasn't quite human either. The creature barely moved, but its presence was unsettling. People nearby whispered for him to step away, almost as if they knew something he didn't. The man hesitated, unsure whether to stay or leave. After the video surfaced online, theories began spreading. Some believed it was a failed experiment, while others were convinced it was proof of something hidden from the public. Latvia horror. A boy was filming the quiet scenery in the Latvian woods when something unexpected appeared on his camera. A large, furry figure moved between the trees. Curious, the boy carefully followed, hoping to get a better look. But just as he got closer, the creature suddenly stopped. For a brief moment, it stood completely still. Then, without warning, it bolted into the trees and vanished into the dense wilderness. It was never seen in that area again. The strange encounter left behind more mystery, and no one could ever explain what the boy had captured that day. Dark mystery. Strolling through a peaceful forest, a man suddenly froze in his tracks. A figure stood ahead, its presence sending a wave of unease through him. The piercing gaze of its glowing eyes locked onto him, and the sharp horns on its head made the sight even more chilling. It didn't move, just stood there, as if studying him in complete silence. The encounter left him shaken, unsure of what he had just witnessed. Could it have been something beyond explanation? The strange figure remained a mystery, and the man, too afraid to step closer, never found out the truth. Furious creature. A woman was riding her horse near the woods when she heard an unusual noise coming from the trees. That's when she noticed a small, shadowy figure stepping out from between the trees, gripping a stick in its hand. At first, it just stood there watching, but then, without warning, it started moving toward her. The woman grabbed her phone and began recording, but before she could react further, the creature suddenly rushed forward. It wasn't just approaching, it was charging straight at her horse. Not wanting to risk an encounter, she quickly turned back, guiding her horse away from the area. Even after she reached safety, the eerie sight stayed in her mind. She had no idea what she had just seen, but it definitely wasn't normal. Rocky creature. Security footage set up in a jungle captured something truly unsettling. In the fading light of the evening, a strange creature crawled up onto a rock, moving in an eerie, unnatural way. Its body was thin and oddly shaped, almost blending into the surroundings. For a moment, it stayed still, turning its head from side to side as if scanning the area, waiting for something or someone. The camera recorded every second, yet no one could figure out what this thing was. It wasn't an animal anyone recognized, and its presence left many uneasy. As the sun dipped lower, the creature suddenly vanished, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions. Creature attacks goat. Late at night, a group of farmers woke up to the sound of their goats crying loudly. It was not normal, so they grabbed their lanterns and rushed to the shed. That's when they saw something strange. A dark creature was stuck to one of the goats' necks. The farmers quickly pulled the goat away and tried to catch the creature, but before they could do anything, it slipped away into the darkness. They searched everywhere, but there was no sign of it. The next morning, they checked the area again, but it was as if nothing had ever been there. The strange creature was gone without a trace, leaving behind nothing but questions and an uneasy feeling that something unknown was still out there. Dogman caught on cam.
Holy crap, this is 5+, y'all.
A man was driving home late at night when something strange appeared on his dashcam. As he cruised down the quiet road, his headlights suddenly lit up a massive, hairy figure moving across the pavement. He hit the brakes, watching as it quickly disappeared into the woods. For a moment, he sat there, trying to process what he had just seen. It was big, far too large to be any normal animal he could think of. But just as quickly as it came into view, it was gone, swallowed by the darkness of the trees. The road, once familiar, now seemed unsettling. He couldn't shake the feeling that something strange had crossed his path that night, and he wasn't sure if he wanted to see it again. Creepy crawler.
How you doing? Oh.
A man and his friend were driving near the outskirts of Browning, Montana, when an unusual sound caught their attention. It came from the dense jungle beside the road, making them slow down to take a closer look. That's when they spotted something truly strange. A tall, pale figure standing among the trees. Its thin frame and oddly shaped head gave it an unnatural appearance, almost as if it didn't belong in this world. The man quickly grabbed his camera, recording the eerie sight before it could disappear. Later, when he shared the footage online, some dismissed it as CGI, while others were convinced it was something far more mysterious. Perhaps even a skinwalker.
What's up, dude?
Spooky mystery. Over the years, countless strange encounters have made people question what might be out there, and this next one only adds to the mystery. A group of men was relaxing at their campsite when an eerie sound broke the silence. It came from behind the trees, low and unsettling. As they turned to look, their hearts nearly stopped. A pale, thin figure crawled out from the shadows. Its body was unnaturally long, almost as if it lacked any real muscle. The sight alone was enough to send chills down their spines. Without wasting a second, they grabbed their things and ran. Even after they were gone, the creature lingered, moving slowly as if searching for something or someone. Hidden unknown creature. A man was strolling along a deserted beach when something strange caught his attention. Near a cluster of bushes, a tall, shadowy figure emerged, standing completely still. It didn't make a sound, yet its presence felt unsettling, as if it was watching him. His instincts told him to leave. Without hesitating, he turned and walked away, resisting the urge to look back. It wasn't something he wanted to understand up close. The moment stuck in his mind long after he left, leaving him to wonder if it was something far more mysterious hiding in plain sight. Chasing humanoid.
Oh, frick.
A man was walking through an unfamiliar area when an eerie sound made him stop. Turning his head, he saw something rushing toward him.
What was that?
A pale, human-like figure with long, thin arms, moving unnaturally fast. He realized it wasn't something he had ever seen before. Without a second thought, he ran as fast as he could, determined not to find out what would happen if it caught up to him. When he finally reached safety, he struggled to process what he had just witnessed. The video of the encounter spread quickly, leaving locals unsettled. Authorities attempted to investigate, but no further trace of the creature was found. Whatever it was, it seemed to have disappeared without a single clue left behind. Unknown creature. Two men were out walking along a roadside field when something strange happened. They noticed a small, furry creature with an oddly shaped head. It had a tiny body, but its thick fur made it look even stranger. At first, it struggled to jump, almost as if it was trying to reach them. Then, without warning, it rushed toward the man filming. The other man watched from above, unsure what was about to happen. Was this thing dangerous, or was it just desperate to get closer? Its fast movements and strange look made the moment even more chilling as it kept coming. One thing was clear: this was no ordinary animal. Road anomaly. A man was driving through the woods when his headlights revealed something shocking. An unusual creature standing right in the middle of the road. He quickly grabbed his phone and started filming. Its shape didn't match any known animal. It had an eerie presence, almost as if it didn't belong in this world. The creature stood still for a moment, its eyes locked onto the car. Then, just as the man tried to get a clearer look, it moved in an unnatural way, sending chills down his spine. The road ahead was blocked, and the man had a choice: wait and watch or turn back before the creature got any closer. Bluff charge. This video has been making rounds on the internet for weeks now. It was supposedly filmed by a boy who spotted a strange creature slipping into the woods behind his school. Curious and maybe a little too brave, he and his friend decided to investigate later that night.
Dude, what is that?
What they captured is enough to send chills down your spine. The footage shows a massive humanoid figure lurking in the darkness. And then, out of nowhere, it jumps straight at the boy.
Oh my gosh!
Panicked, he turns and runs for safety. But here's the real mystery. Did this thing leap from the ground, or did it come down from a tree? Take a closer look and decide for yourself.
Oh my gosh! Oh! Help! Oh my gosh!
Horse versus creature. Horses are known for their intelligence, and this moment proves it once again. A man was out riding, completely unaware of the danger lurking nearby, but his horse sensed something before he did. It suddenly stopped, refusing to move, and let out nervous sounds while staring at one spot. Confused, the man followed its gaze, and that's when he saw it. Behind a tree, something strange was watching him. The moment their eyes met, the creature quickly hid, disappearing behind the trunk. But for that brief second, the man had seen enough to know it wasn't any ordinary animal. His horse stayed restless, refusing to move forward. No one still knows what that man had encountered that day. Whatever it was, the man wasn't sticking around to find out. Tree humanoid. A hiker was out on a random trip when he came across an abandoned old area. Something about the place felt strange, but curiosity led him to explore. As he moved forward, he suddenly spotted a small, human-like creature standing in the distance. It had pale skin, dark eyes, and a face that looked almost unnatural. The creature stared at him for a moment before grabbing a rock and throwing it right over him, as if warning him to leave. The hiker realized this thing wasn't happy with his presence. Without wasting another second, he turned and rushed back to safety, leaving the eerie place behind. Strange bridge creature. This strange creature was spotted crawling under a bridge, moving in an unsettling way, almost as if it was planning something. Its small, humanoid shape didn't resemble anything familiar, and its twisted figure made it even more disturbing. Those who saw it couldn't tell if it was an animal or something else entirely. It clung to the underside of the bridge with unnatural ease, as if it had some kind of eerie ability. The way it moved sent chills down the spines of those watching. No one knew where it came from or what it wanted. But one thing was certain: this wasn't a sight anyone would forget anytime soon. Motorcyclist encounter. On May 17th, 2024, a motorcyclist walking along a forest path heard something chilling, strange noises echoing through the trees. The sounds were so clear that he could make out the word "help." He couldn't understand if it was someone lost in the woods or something else. Curious but uneasy, he returned to the same spot the next day to investigate. The forest was quiet, almost too still. But then, just a few meters ahead, he noticed something lurking among the trees. A strange figure stood there, motionless, watching him from the shadows. The moment their eyes met, a wave of fear rushed through him. The eerie voice, the hidden figure, was out there, and it was no ordinary encounter. Furry creature versus man. This driver was on his way home when he noticed something strange. a man running frantically in front of his car. Confused, he couldn't understand what had terrified him so much. But then, just moments later, the real reason became clear. Up ahead, a furry creature appeared in the middle of the road. Its shape was bizarre, almost as if it didn't belong to any known animal. It moved in an odd, unsettling way, making it impossible to tell what it actually was. It just left an eerie feeling in the air. Something wasn't right about it. Creepy stalker. As a man wandered through an abandoned area near the jungle, he suddenly stopped. Just ahead, something stood still, staring straight at him. Its bright eyes reflected the light, unblinking. Its face had an unusual shape, nothing like any known creature. The man stood there for a moment looking at the strange figure. It didn't move, didn't make a sound, just stayed in place. The air around was quiet, with only the rustling leaves in the background. After a few seconds, the man slowly stepped back and turned away. Family stalker. As a family made their way through the jungle, an eerie feeling crept over them. Something was watching. Then, between the trees, they spotted it, a tall, shadowy figure standing completely still. Its dark form blended into the forest. The child pointed, sensing what the others already knew. This was no ordinary animal. It stood there, silent, unblinking, almost as if it was studying them. The family stood frozen, unsure of what they had just seen. Was it a predator? A creature no one had ever identified? Or something far more mysterious lurking in the wild? Camping horror. A group of young men had set up camp deep in the jungle, enjoying the quiet night around their fire. Everything seemed normal until movement caught their attention. A large figure was slipping between the trees, its shadow barely visible against the darkness. At first, they thought it might be a bear, but something felt off. The creature was massive, yet it moved on two legs with an eerie silence, weaving through the dense brush with ease. None of them dared to move, watching as it disappeared deeper into the jungle.
Look at the size of that thing! Dude, that's not a bear!
The rest of the night felt different, as if the jungle itself was hiding something unknown. It left them with an unsettling feeling they would never forget. Forest giant. While cycling through the cold, silent woods of Alaska, a hunter suddenly spotted something unusual. Standing among the trees was a massive figure. The air felt heavier as he realized the creature was staring right at him, almost as if it had been waiting for him to notice. The creature's size alone was enough to make the hunter uneasy, but there was something else. Something about the way it stood, as if it didn't quite belong there. Then, just as suddenly as he had noticed it, the figure faded into the dense forest, leaving behind only questions. The hunter couldn't shake the feeling that he had seen something he wasn't meant to. Dark forest creature. While trekking through the rugged mountains, a group of friends noticed something unusual. A tall, shaggy figure was making its way through the dense terrain, moving with purpose. It was too large to be a person, and no one in their right mind would wander through the wilderness in heavy fur during the sweltering heat. As they watched, a thought crossed their minds. This area was known for Bigfoot sightings. The stories they had once laughed off now felt eerily real. The way the figure moved, its massive frame, and the way it vanished into the trees all pointed to one thing. Could they have just witnessed the legendary Bigfoot? Whatever it was, the moment left them questioning everything they believed about the creature's existence. Peru giants. In a remote mountain village in Peru, a young woman was out filming the landscape when she noticed something strange. Two figures stood at the top of a distant peak, but something about them felt off. They weren't moving like normal people. Curious, she zoomed in with her camera, and that's when she felt a chill. Their bodies looked different. Long, thin and oddly shaped. It was nothing like she had ever seen before. She kept recording, but a moment later, the figures disappeared behind the rocks. When she checked the footage again, it only raised more questions. Had she just captured proof of something unknown, or was it something that couldn't be explained? Bear Rush. A man was biking along a quiet road near the forest, enjoying the fresh air, when he suddenly noticed something moving in the distance. He realized it was a massive bear, and it was running straight toward him. Without wasting a second, he gripped the handlebars tightly and pedaled as fast as his legs would allow. The sound of heavy footsteps was behind him, but he kept going, hoping to outrun the beast. After a tense chase, the bear finally slowed down and turned away, disappearing into the trees. Only then did he allow himself to breathe. That ride was supposed to be peaceful, but it turned into a moment he would never forget. Rooftop Crawler.
No way. What is that right there?
A quiet evening turned unsettling when a boy noticed something unusual on his rooftop. At first, he thought his eyes were playing tricks on him, but as he looked closer, a human-like figure was there, watching. It didn't move or make a sound. It just stood at the edge, as if studying him. Before he could react, the figure vanished without a trace. The guy then rushed to the other side of the house and searched for any sign of where it had gone, but the rooftop was empty. Shaken, he reported the sighting to security, hoping they'd find something. But despite checking every corner, they found no footprints, no clues, nothing at all. The strange visitor had appeared and disappeared without a single trace. Werewolf on Road. A man was driving down a quiet road when he spotted something strange standing near the trees. At first, he thought it was just a large animal, but as he got closer, before he could react, the creature stepped onto the road, forcing him to stop. Its glowing eyes staring right at him. Frozen in shock, he watched as the werewolf calmly crossed the road, its massive frame moving effortlessly. Then, without a sound, it vanished into the darkness. The man sat there, gripping the steering wheel, trying to make sense of what he had just seen. Was it real, or had he just witnessed something beyond explanation? Hidden Tree Creature. There had been whispers about a strange creature lurking in the woods, but no one had ever seen it clearly. One evening, a man decided to find out for himself. As he walked deeper into the trees, he suddenly noticed something unusual, a pair of bright eyes staring at him from a hole in a tree. The dark figure inside remained completely still, as if it was watching his every move. The man took a cautious step forward, but the moment the creature realized it had been spotted, it quickly retreated into the hollow space. He waited, hoping to see it again, but the woods fell silent. It had vanished without a sound. Dobby caught on cam. In Colorado, a woman shared a bizarre video on Facebook, and it instantly grabbed attention. Millions of people watched in shock as the footage showed a strange, thin figure wandering outside her house. The creature looked eerily similar to Dobby from the Harry Potter films. It had an odd posture, moved awkwardly, and didn't seem human at all. The internet exploded with theories, but a few days later, reports came out of the true identity of the creature, telling that it was actually a boy in a costume. However, not everyone was convinced. Many believed the explanation wasn't truthful, suspecting something was being covered up. Was this just a misunderstanding, or was there more to the story than meets the eye? Unknown creature. A group of friends had set up their camp for the night, enjoying the calm of the wilderness, when they noticed something strange just beyond the glow of their fire. A small humanoid figure stood there, its head shaped oddly, as if it didn't quite belong to this world. It didn't run or hide. Instead, it moved in an unusual way, taking short, quick jumps while making odd gestures, almost as if it was trying to communicate, but no one could understand what it wanted. Before they could react, the creature turned and vanished into the darkness. When the clip was uploaded online, it spread fast, sparking debates. Some believed it was an unknown species, while others feared it could be something far more unsettling. Creature stalking workers. These workers were busy with their survey job when they sensed something unusual. At first, everything seemed normal, but then they noticed a strange presence nearby. A dark, thin figure was lurking in the background, watching them from a distance. Its body looked unnatural, and the way it moved was unsettling. The moment it realized it had been spotted, it suddenly fled, disappearing into the trees with incredible speed. Its shape, its movement, nothing about it resembled a normal human or animal. Though it was gone in seconds, the eerie feeling remained, making them question what had been watching them in the first place. Columbia Mystery. In 2023, something strange was caught on camera in Candelaria, a town in Valle del Cauca, Colombia. A tractor driver was busy working when he suddenly noticed a tiny figure on the road. It looked like a small person, but something about it felt different. The driver, who recorded the video, insists it wasn't human. It was a duende. For those who don't know, duendes are mythical creatures in Latin American folklore, often described as small goblin-like beings that live in forests or hidden places. In the footage, the mysterious figure appears incredibly small, moving in an odd, almost unnatural way. Many viewers claim this was the most realistic evidence of a duende ever recorded, leaving people wondering if these legendary beings are more than just myths. Nightcrawlers. This trail cam clip spread across the internet like wildfire, leaving viewers baffled. The footage showed a strange figure walking down the street, except it didn't have a body. At first glance, it looked like a pair of jeans moving on its own. Believed to be the Fresno Nightcrawler, this mysterious being is one of the lesser-known cryptids. Yet, it has fascinated those who study the unexplained. Unlike legendary creatures like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, the Nightcrawler remains an enigma, with only a handful of alleged sightings. Despite its eerie appearance, it became a favorite among artists, writers, and supernatural enthusiasts. But no one has ever figured out what it truly is, or where it came from. Strange sounds.
Sound like it's screaming at me, yeah.
A peaceful morning took a strange turn when a couple, busy with their daily chores, heard a chilling scream echoing from the forest. The sound was unlike anything they had ever heard. Loud, sharp, and unsettling. They paused, looking toward the dense trees, but there was nothing in sight. For a moment, everything went silent. But then the scream came again, even louder this time. It wasn't human, nor did it sound like any known animal. The couple stood frozen, listening as the sound echoed through the trees. Unsure of what they had just witnessed, they quickly gathered their things and moved away. But even as they left, the eerie sound still rang through the air. And now, let's move on to the subscribers pick. A security guard was doing his usual night patrol when he noticed something strange near an old warehouse. At first, it looked like a person standing in the shadows, but as he stepped closer, he realized it wasn't human. The figure was tall and thin, with limbs that seemed too long for its body. It moved in an unnatural way, shifting its head as if studying him. The guard's flashlight flickered, and for a moment, he lost sight of it. When the light steadied again, the figure was much closer. Without waiting to see what would happen next, he hurried back to his station. The security cameras showed nothing but an empty alley. As for the man, he couldn't shake the feeling that it was still out there, watching. And with that, see you next time.